Welcome to Foul Check, another week in the spring.
Yeah, it's moving right along rather quickly, unfortunately. I guess it's not unfortunate. It's just now getting warm. So
it is just now getting warm, but this spring, I feel like I have barely worked a weekend because life keeps lifing.
Yeah, I will say you spoke this into existence the last time we were here.
I know, I said,
like, oh, haven't been sick all year. I've been great, but my throat's a little scratchy. It's fine. I'm fine. And then
Eric, when I say this, whatever I just got done having was the worst. Granted, probably not as worse as the norovirus you had, but
yeah, let's not bring that back.
It was pretty bad. I had body aches. I had chills. I was not running a fever. Then Saturday, throat closed up. Couldn't even swallow. Well, I texted you Friday night, and I was like, just a heads up, I am feeling bad.
You did.
I just did not think I was going to wake up feeling that bad.
No, you did. You were like, you know what? This might not happen, and I'm just letting you know now. Have a backup plan. And I was like, okay, all right, we'll figure it out. Yeah, you know. So,
I had to call out from 2 days of work. 2 days. That's like, and that was in addition. One of those days was Friday. Not that I called out, but my weekend day, like my weekend,
your own off
Friday, being sick on my off day, and then had to call out 2 days. It was horrible.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, but now I got that amoxicillin. I'm chilling. Oh, yeah. Except it's like literally a horse pill.
It is.
It's insane.
I told you that in the cephalexin, however you pronounce it.
Right. Well, because you had a sinus infection a couple weeks ago.
I did.
Oh my gosh.
And it was pretty intense.
But you didn't miss any work, right?
I didn't.
I think you were sick on your days off.
Yeah, I didn't miss any time, fortunately. But again, I was begging for the medicine like you were.
Yeah.
So, and
I literally finally, I was just like, I'm calling the teledoc. And I'm getting this. I'm getting my Tussie pearls.
Yeah, you're better than me because I'm like, nah, I need to see the real doc. Where you at? Like, I'm coming to your office. Like, check me out.
I'm not spending my money on that for them to be like, okay, yeah, here's.
No.
Amoxicillin.
No, I'm a baby, so I don't care.
Oh, you have them take your temperature.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah,
just,
bless your heart.
Yeah, like the little baby, rub my head too. Like you. Don't need to do the ear. You just they rub the little head. And I'm like, okay, so what's next?
The temperature.
The temperature.
Oh my god, I thought you just were rubbing your head because you were scared. And they were just giving you, okay.
No, I'm not that much of a baby. No. Okay, but I'm like, no, let's get me taken care of, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I'm on the other side of it, kind of. The cough is lingering. The cough is still making it known. No, you're good. I'm not contagious.
Sure to see the monitor. That's all.
Once you have 24 hours of antibiotics, aren't you not contagious anymore?
Who said that?
Okay. Period.
No, that may be true.
Okay.
I just, in my mind, I'm like, all right, is it all the way gone? Cool. I think it's all the way gone. So
it's not all the way gone, but it's gone. I like I said, I didn't go outside on Monday because of the wind and the pollen. I'm just staying out of the pollen, and it's not that windy today. So hopefully the softball game I go to doesn't. The dust though. Oh my god, it's never ending. Anyways, yeah. So spring has flown by. Actually, Virginia Tech softball has like 2 series left of the regular season.
That's about it, and
then it's the ACC tournament.
Yeah, it's here. It's so mind-boggling. They dropped the most recent series at Pitt, and it was. I mean,
what happened? I didn't watch. Yeah, obviously, I was asleep.
The game 1 took them by surprise. Pitt actually put up a great fight, and they beat them game 1, and it was like, oh wow, they beat us. So game 2 had to be played the same day as game 3. So they did a doubleheader Saturday instead of the three-day weekend. So game 2, they came back and, oh man, 21-0. 21.
Right. Well, that's what I
so
the doubleheader, the first of the 2.
So I feel like they used so much energy on that game 2, then they got to game 3 and they had nothing left. So that's how they ended up losing the weekend series to Pitt. Pitt's first time winning an ACC softball series, apparently.
What?
Yeah, yeah, that was a little crushing. I was like, oh no, not in that fashion. But you know what? They'll bounce back. They'll be fine, and maybe that series loss kind of sets them up well for ACC tournament and beyond. I mean, they did have the longest winning streak ever. You know,
I I was gonna say when I saw that they lost, I was kind of like, okay, maybe this is like the monkey off their back a little bit, like because it seems like in the years past when they've had so much like amped upness from like records or home run, whatever, that like then they get to the ACC tournament and just don't do well. So maybe this will be the year. Where is their ACC tournament at?
Oh boy, we just looked this up. Was it North Carolina?
Oh.
No, ACC baseball tournament's Durham. And softball, you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Boston College.
Ew.
Oh, don't say that.
What?
I believe it's at Boston College. And me and James actually had a similar reaction when we looked. I'm pretty certain.
Because I feel like, wait, I should go, right?
Oh, well, if we know they're going to almost win it, I don't think we'll have to. But I bet you a grande white chocolate mocha, it's at Boston College.
Grande? First of all, I didn't shake on this. Okay. You want to shake on it?
Oh, no. I don't. No, I don't. 2025?
Right, Massachusetts.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
yeah,
our news director Scott's in here right now. Scott, was this you trying to get on the mic? Pick that mic up.
It is. It says here, you got to trust Google, right?
Of course.
The ACC softball standings are available on the website. The 2025 ACC softball championship will be held in Brighton, Massachusetts.
Wow.
There you go. Y'all shake on it. No.
Well, my thing said Pittsburgh, but then again, I don't know how to work this darn phone.
It could have been 2024.
Maybe. Was it Pittsburgh last year?
I believe it was.
Okay.
Which is also kind of weird.
Anyways.
Neither.
Well, here's our segue into Scott joining us, our news director, Scott Flanagan.
How's everybody doing?
On the mic. Not on the camera, though. But
drop the mic.
Oh. Crazy.
Usually we drop it, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'm done.
Scott, we brought you on here today. Bless you.
Well, I have to, let me, you guys were talking about sick. Coughing.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Been sick?
I've been coughing for a month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
you live with high schoolers too.
Yeah, so spring break, right? I take my fam. Right. We go do some fun times with spring break, right? We go see Mickey. Well, that's a gift that keeps on giving with Mickey because I got a virus and I've been coughing ever since. So yeah, I feel your pain, Brooke, coughing all the time.
I know. Well, I have some Tussie Pearls if you need them.
No, thank you.
That's the general reaction in the newsroom. Like, what?
I'm good, bro.
We're good.
First of all, Jeff Hanowich is the one who started the name Tussie Pearl.
They're the one.
They're benzoate pearls, the cough suppressant, but they numb your throat, and he calls them Tussie Pearls because I guess that's what he was called as a child. So since then, he's become Mr. Tussie Pearl, and now whenever I have a cough, they do work. I mean, they're just little tiny coughing, like a vitamin D and coughing pearl, and I remember Duke one time took one, didn't know you're supposed to swallow it, thought it was just like a melt in your mouth lozenge situation, numbed his whole mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not.
They definitely work.
That's not good.
Yeah.
They definitely work.
Oh, yeah. But no, the cough is real. Everyone in here is hacking lately.
See, I just stick with Halls, and then we go from there. Sorry.
So nice, Eric. Well, Scott, do you have a sports opinion you want to bring on today?
Man, I just love sports.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Sports is a beautiful thing, The real world of news can sometimes just be like blah, 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 what's negative. But when you talk about sports, man, now let's get pumped, And, I can't be too pumped about the Braves right now. They're just stinking it up.
Baseball just started.
Yeah, but when you're like, I think 6-13 or 7-14 or something, it's just like, it's a train wreck and,
Don't they play 100 games?
Yeah, they do, but to me, you got to start off strong. If you're going to be competitive, you can start off. But I will remember when they won the World Series in 2023 or 2022. I can't remember exactly the year. Yep. And as you get older, the years all come together. They were the second half of the season. They really kicked it in overdrive and ended up coming back and doing really well, and ended up playing so well they got to the World Series. So. It can be. You can have a crappy first half of the season, getting out of the what is it called, All-Star weekend.
Right.
And then, man, you're just hitting the ground running, and they did a really good job. But I'm looking forward to Ronald Acuna getting back on the in the dugout. He's been sitting out for a while, and he's been one of the premier players. But they're just struggling, man. They just bats are not hot. They're just
don't really. It's not like a lot of chemistry that we're used to seeing with them.
No, there's
which
not.
is unfortunate because they're so good. They're still talented, and I'm like, just make it work.
Yeah.
Like, just do what you do. Like, just make it work. Not what you have been doing this year, but like, just bring it back somehow.
They got a little bit of drama going on too, and Ronald tweeted something, and they deleted it, and it's just like, come on, man, let's all. There's some things you just gotta, as a team, you just gotta ignore, and so they got to figure that out. But Snitker's a good coach; he'll figure it out. He'll get through.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Did they just go like
Mike Trout still on that team?
Who?
Mike Trout.
Oh, you're thinking of another team.
You're thinking West Coast there.
That's the Angels. Yeah. Yeah, not the Braves in Atlanta. Yeah.
Who does he play for?
From God above.
Angels.
There
you go.
California Angels?
No. Do you know where they
Los Angeles Angels. Los Angeles Angels?
That's half of it.
No, because that's the Dodgers.
It's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
They got 2 teams there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because they used to be Anaheim, but now they're LA Angels of Anaheim.
And I'm not ready for baseball. Like I said, they play 100 games. Let's talk in October.
Let's talk in October.
Yeah. No, speaking of baseball, did you see the hilarious clip of our beloved Salem Red Sox last night?
No. Hilarious?
Yeah. Well, in hilarious and embarrassing a bit. Michael Sansone coming on in relief in the 9th inning. He has the wrong color jersey on.
Oh.
So
were they wearing not silly ones?
They were wearing blue jerseys. They were on the road at Hickory.
Okay.
He had a red jersey on.
How did that happen?
I don't know how you go the entire game in the bullpen with the wrong jersey on. So my thought is maybe he was hoping, hey, if they call me in, I'll go to dugout and change, or they'll just let me pitch. So he went to the mound to pitch, and the umpires, they were like, no, you got to change.
Were they not reversible?
Well,
that would make more sense.
That sounds a little
Alan Lawrence.
too easy. Yeah. So
hear me out.
So he goes to the dugout. He has they get him a blue jersey. He throws it on, and he comes in and pitches, finishes the game. So.
Did they win? Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah, because it was out of reach. It was 12-3, so they were good to go.
Meanwhile, the fans are waiting for this dude to change his shirt. So what do? Go grab another cold beer, get you some popcorn.
Yeah. So the amazing part is, and I don't know about that ballpark down in Hickory, but typically here in Salem, the beer sales stop after I think the middle of the 7th.
Oh yeah.
So you're stranded a bit,
My
right?
goodness.
You better hope you got a couple drops left in the cup or the can, like. But
that's what you call double fisting there.
Yeah. No, they make the announcement at Salem.
They do.
Beer sales ending at the bottom of this inning.
They do.
Take a run.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that was
That is silly. Oh my gosh, that's so minor league.
Yeah. We'll have a look at that tonight on the newscast. But yeah,
that's funny.
It was random. I was like, oh, that's. Man,
I can't believe he went out there and wasn't like. Oh.
Yeah.
He's just so excited, man.
So it's funny.
Probably.
Yeah, the MILB tweeted it, and then Salem retweeted it, and they said, hey, you still got the win. Doesn't matter, whatever. And then they had fun with it today. They were like, he has 14 strikeouts this month so far, and just one instance of having the wrong color jersey. So
that's a good stat. And Hickory's new.
Yeah, the crawdads.
Yeah. Like did they move up?
Little crawdads. I'm not sure if I feel like they're new to the league. I feel like the team has been there, though.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I was born in Hickory.
What?
Yep.
I
was born in Hickory, North Carolina. Where'd you think I was born? In Botetourt?
No, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. I grew up in Cleveland. I was born in Hickory. Okay. Lived there for the first 5 or 6 years of my life.
Okay.
Did childhood up until high school in Cleveland, and then moved to Botetourt for high school.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Most of my memories are in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow. 4 years at Botetourt?
All 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah. But born in Fry Hospital in Hickory.
Had no idea.
Imagine how different my life would have been. We might not have ever met.
That's true.
It's the best hospital in the world, Hickory.
Thank you, Scott. I don't know if you meant that in a facetious way or an honest way, but thank you.
You're welcome.
There was a guy when I moved to Ohio or to Botetourt. His name was Trey, not our Trey, another Trey. And he was also born in Fry Hospital in Hickory, except he was an April birthday, and I'm in August. Isn't that crazy? What are the odds?
What's wrong with
You guys are going to end up getting married and...
No, I don't think so, Trey, if you're out there.
Trey.
Look, Scott's even leaning into the dating. We haven't talked to my dating life in quite a bit of time on this podcast. But
I feel like we've done well of kind of like getting around that part.
Skirting. I don't know, maybe I'll send Trey a message.
Come on,
let's get to the guest. And this week, I should say guests. As in plural.
Yes. Okay.
Plural.
So talking softball. Yes.
Right.
UVA softball has a bunch of local players from our area, including two greats, Rustburg pitcher Eden Bigham and Jade Hylton, who I know hits. What's her other position? She's second base? She outfield?
I believe it is infielder, if I'm not mistaken as well. I did double check that, but
either way, her main skill, as we've seen, she broke the home run record and reset it at Virginia last week. And she is a Bassett alum, which I just love. That year that Appomattox won the Rustburg won the softball state title. Appomattox won the softball state title. I don't think Bassett did, obviously, so they're class 3. So Rustburg probably beat them on the way or got beaten at some point. But and all those girls ended up at UVA.
Makes sense, and the time kind of overlaps. The Abby Weaver, who was at Cave Spring.
Who graduated last year,
so shout out to UVA recruiting our area pretty heavy. They got some Halifax County girls on the squad. They just got Razor from Seaburg. She just committed there officially early this week. So look out for the Cavaliers.
I know. Well, and they've actually really been turning it lately the last couple weeks. So they've been fun to watch. But let's go ahead and get to our guests who so graciously are joining us from another coast. They are out in California on the Stanford swing. Welcome back to Foul Check. We are joined by two UVA superstars straight out of our area. Southwest Virginia stand up. We got Kelsey Hackett joining us and Jade Hylton, two girls who I covered when they were in high school and are now just killing it in college. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You guys are joining me all the way out in California on Pacific, 3 hours behind, so it's 9 o'clock there.
Yeah.
And you guys played a game, and you guys played 3 games this weekend, and went to the Golden Gate Bridge, I heard.
Yes.
Well, I'm so happy you guys are on here. It has just been such a joy watching the two of you and Eden as well and Courtney as well, just like represent our area and how rich softball is here. I'm going to start with Kelsey. I will never forget that hit you did in the Appomattox game to win that state title. And I was crying. I'm like, why am I crying? I didn't even go to Appomattox. This is crazy. Can you just speak a little bit on how the last couple of years have been at Virginia and how you felt like your game has grown since that moment just a few years ago, winning that title back to back?
Yeah, that moment was huge. It was so special to me, and it's kind of led me in to like today, just continuously wanting to grow. I think the past few years, I've really grown into just my position of continuing to get those big hits in those big moments. That moment led me to where I am now, which is kind of crazy to see. So yeah.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing.
No kidding. I mean, come on. You had a walk-off hit this season, right?
I think I had one last season. We've had a lot of walk-offs this year.
Right. True. True.
could be getting a few confused. We've had quite a few this year.
That's okay. You guys have, whether it was this year or last year, I tell you what, if you want somebody who's lining up to win the game at the bottom of the 7th, I choose one of you two. So that brings me to Jade. I mean, I feel like every week your name's coming down in a press release, either from Bill or from the entire ACC. You just broke, yesterday, the single season home run record. Yeah. And then a couple weeks ago, you broke the school home run record, which no one's ever going to be able to top because you guys still have so many games left and you keep hitting home runs. Same question for you. I mean, just how much your game has grown from high school to now having your name in the history books at UVA.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. College has brought me some of my best friends and best moments, and I'm really just blessed to have been given the opportunities I've been given. So definitely came a long way from Bassett High School, different world back then, a little bit different level of softball, but just learned a lot of lessons and have really grown as a player and matured, I think, too.
I know that travel ball plays a lot into preparation, right? Did you guys play on the same travel ball team?
Yeah, we did. Like the last, 4 years, I think we played for Stars Gold Bun, and we had some fun times on that team.
Wait, did Eden and Courtney play with you guys? So
Eden
did. Eden played for a little bit, and then at the beginning, earlier in travel ball, but basically it was me, Kelsey, and Eden.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And Trinity and Emma, actually, yeah.
Yep. Okay, see... That's crazy, but that's what honestly makes it so freaking cool. Yeah. Is I remember somebody's parent at the Appomattox game was like, just so you know, there's 4 or 5 girls who are all graduating who are going to play at UVA and Tech, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. What? And here you guys are, just absolutely dominating. Both of you guys are ranked right now, Virginia and Virginia Tech. So this is so fun. So the premise of this podcast is basically, I'm just super curious about the sport. I mean, I'm obviously knowledgeable because I have to report and call highlights, but I have so many random questions that I just can't ask at a press conference. And starting with either of you guys could answer this. But Jade, just considering your home runs that you've just been slamming, just like the coach is calling pitches, do they call what kind of hit you're about to do? Do they tell you, hey, wait for the third ball to really swing it? How do you go up to the plate and do that?
Well, sometimes I don't really call hits or they don't call hits, but we sometimes go up. Well, actually, every time we go up to bat, we have a plan usually. So we'll be sitting a certain pitch, or if we're facing a change-up heavy girl, we'll sit change-up for a few pitches, or I don't know. We just kind of pick a side of the plate sometimes and pick a certain spin and hope for the best, really. Yeah.
Well, so what does that mean? Because obviously I know there's strategy. Sometimes depending on the count, you want to get a runner on base so that the next hitter can send them home, or what is the strategy there? Kind of get in the weeds a little bit. For not just the normal college softball fan. And either of you guys can get into it.
It's just really pitcher dependent, I guess. Today we faced a girl from Stanford who was downspin. So we were just trying to really see the ball up and find a way on base, get somebody on base, score runs. But it didn't come out on the right side of the ball today, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Is that the most frustrating part of this sport is the versatility of the pitchers you see in a day like yesterday where bats are hot and then the next day you face somebody different and it just won't go.
Yeah, some days are like that, honestly. It's just, it's a game of failure, so not every day is going to be perfect on either side of the ball, but it's also tough because all the pitchers you're facing also watch film on you, so they know your strengths and your weaknesses, and, they pitch to you based off of that, so...
Right. And a lot of the pitchers, in today's case, we had started with rise ball, and then you get used to the rise ball, and then they bring in drop ball, little slower pitcher, and then end with the rise ball fast. So it's they try to keep you off your toes throughout the entire game.
I noticed that listening to the broadcast, how they kept switching they had 3 pitching changes.
We call it sandwich.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's something you just don't even think about, especially in softball, because there's so much wear, not as much as baseball, but a softball pitcher can go way more innings than baseball. So you don't even think about the strategy sometimes when the coach is calling the pitcher out of the circle. It's like, oh, they're literally just trying to make sure nobody gets a hit.
Right.
It's wild. The whole thing is wild to me. Kelsey, when you go up to the plate, I mean, kind of like Jade was talking about, you're trying to read the pitch. Where do you find your strengths? Where do you feel like you get the most hits off of?
So I'm more rise ball, outside. I like the high ball. My swing works really well into high pitches. So seeing the rise ball pitchers coming in, it gets me a little excited. So yeah, I would say more high pitch, outside. That's where I find my best at bats.
And obviously in a lineup, you have players who are great at getting on base, players that are good at getting RBIs, and then players who can, count on sending it over the fence. How does that lineup work? And I take everything so personally. How do you not take it personally where you fall in that lineup?
We just have such a diverse lineup. I think that's one thing about our offense that's been really productive this year, is that we have all different types of hitters. We call them punch and Judies. We have people that are going to send it over the fence, like you said. And I mean, we just usually put it all together, and that's when we're our best. So
I think it's also knowing your job as well. Like right now I'm batting in the 8th hole, and I know my job is to get on base so that our top of our lineup can get me in. So I think it's just understanding your role and executing that.
You did a pretty good job of that this weekend.
Thank you.
I was literally looking at the stats just a second ago, and I was like, like all of these are from playing Stanford this weekend. So good job, Kelsey. You did do a good job of that.
Did well this weekend, that's for sure.
Right. Jade, what did you call them? Punching Judies?
Yeah, we have these different types of hitters or we'll label them. Like if we're scouting another team, and we have like punching Judies, you got stock hitters, power hitters, slap, just different categories of hitters, really. And punching Judies are usually people that will find a hole somewhere, and then power, obviously, they can hit a ball over the fence, and then stock, they're pretty consistent base hitters. They can punch one over the fence though too, and then slappers, obviously, they just put the ball on the ground and slap. So.
Yeah.
I remember the first time, I think it was when Tech 3 years ago was in the NCAA tournament, and they had 2 slap hitters on the team, and I had never seen that before in my life. Those girls running at the ball, and you're literally, the goal is to just bat it down so that it takes a bounce and runs, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. But honestly, I would be scared. Good for you guys. That's why you guys are the pros, because that's wild. When you're on defense, I mean, that's got to be the most unpredictable part of the game, right? Or do you feel like, I mean, at what inning do you feel like you're comfortable enough where you know where that batter's trying to put the ball and you guys are prepared to go after it?
Honestly, I'm never really predicting where we're not really trying to get them to hit a ball a certain place. Well, I don't know. It just depends on the pitcher that we have in. But usually I don't think they're trying to put the ball a certain place unless they're like bunting or in something super situational. So, but we usually have a defense card that like has the people that we're playing against, and it'll tell us their tendencies. So like we'll have a pull hitter up, and then like for instance, mine will be 3 pull to the left. So it really just depends on the hitter, honestly. Yeah. But we scout deep into that stuff. So
I guess you ideally don't want them to hit the ball at all when you're on defense. You want the pitcher to go to work and no hits. But that's interesting. It's just sometimes sitting and watching baseball and softball, you don't think about how much preparation and planning is actually like you said, you're doing a scout. You have the entire, you're prepared for anything. Why do you think people don't think about it that way? Like the next level of how strategic it really is. Cause sometimes you're sitting there in the sunshine watching it and you're like, this is awesome. Like, surely they didn't scout this.
I don't know. Honestly, it was an eye opener for me too, because in high school and like travel bowl, we never scouted anything. Yeah, we just showed up, show and go, and then now you get here, and it truly is a business. But we do take scouting very seriously, and it's very important for the sport now. So.
You were kind of saying how you know the tendencies of certain batters and where it's going to go. It's always interesting shooting softball and trying to gauge if the ball is going to go over the fence. What is the level of risk that you guys will take? But Kelsey, you both are infielders, right?
I'm an outfielder now.
Oh, okay. So great. You can answer this. How do you scale the level of risk? Is it like basketball where it's a hustle play regardless? You're always going to run after the loose ball, or can you kind of tell if it's going to go? Because all the fields are different too.
Right. Most of the time, if they like really got a hold to it, it's pretty obvious it's going to go. But if it's one of those like you're not exactly sure, I'm going 100%. If I run into the fence. But that's kind of more of me putting my trust in my other outfielders to help me understand how close I am. But if it's a questionable one, I'm full force going into the fence to get it.
I mean, it makes for a great highlight when you do reel it in and you went to the fence. Unlike the girl yesterday who literally let it tip off her glove. Was that perfect, Jade? Who did that?
It was me.
Jade.
I have to give her a bit.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough, though. I will say that she did tip it with the very top of her glove, so it would have been. If anything, she could have just knocked it in, but that was very close. So I do thank her for that.
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. The broadcast literally was dogging her. They were like, "Yeah, she just flicked her wrist forward. She would have got it in infield." And I'm like, that thing was gone. That thing was gone. The fence was too high. Like, no. But that does make me wonder. I've shot so many games where there's scorpion. You're doing this full reach scorpion, especially in high school because the fence isn't high. So I'm always curious, at what point do you commit? But you can read it if it's going far.
And like you said, with the field, like understanding some of our fences are a little higher. So, and I'm not necessarily the tallest person, so I understand like when to go for something and when not to.
Yeah, well, for sure. It's really been such a joy watching you. I'm the weekend anchor, so cutting highlights of you guys both on the weekend has just been an absolute joy between you guys and Virginia Tech. Is it fun going and playing again? I'm sure there's probably other girls in the ACC that you guys have played travel with, I imagine, or if not, over at Liberty or something, a little non-conference. Is it fun? Do you feel like you have a leg up because you know how these girls are going to react and play? Or is it just brutal? I hate them for 7 innings and then we're friends after.
No, it's all love. Keep it business during the game, and afterwards we'll chat it up and give our hugs and whatnot. Right. I don't know. I don't think there's never really any beef. I don't have beef with anybody I've ever played travel with. So
yeah, definitely not.
Honestly, like I want to pull for them. That's the funny thing. We'll be in a game and we'll be playing somebody I know, and I like want to root them on and cheer for them. But then I gotta like cheer for my pitcher, And
right.
So
they get a good
weird
hit,
situation.
You catch yourself clapping a little bit, and then you have to reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, deep down, I'm not going to be too mad about it as long as it's nothing important.
Right.
Sport is so unique in the way that you guys play your high school ball, but you travel when you're in high school literally your entire high school season and all summer long. So you develop this like closeness that you don't get in other sports. So I can imagine you want your friends to win.
Yeah.
Unless it's Virginia Tech.
Yes. You want them to win as long as
we're not playing
someone else.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Well, let's chat a little bit about your friend that's also on your team, Eden. Just the kind of pitcher that she is, and watching her. I mean, she also won that state title at Rustburg a couple years ago. Gosh, time flies. There's no way it's been a couple. It's been like 4. anyways, just seeing her, obviously playing her in high school and especially at Bassett, I'm sure you saw her a lot. And then, seeing her now, just having the year she is, what is that like watching your friend like really do that?
I'm just so proud of her, honestly. I mean, luckily for my high school games, I never had to play her. So,
nice.
On the other hand,
We played her a lot.
had to play her.
Yeah, Rustburg and Appomattox. Yeah.
But it's just awesome seeing everything that Eden's done and worked for, and just for it coming to light right now. I mean, she's an awesome pitcher, and I'm so comfortable most of the time when she's out there in the circle. I know she's going to get the job done. So I'm really proud of her, though. She's doing big things and big things to come ahead. So
I've loved to see it just grow, and especially in her confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she goes out on the mound and it's just gives everybody on the field, I feel, just more confidence.
A little weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. I mean, today when they put her in, I guess bottom of the fourth or bottom of the fifth, when Stanford had gotten on the board, it was like, all right, you're no more hits, no more runs. And she did that. And I was like, that's what you want from your closer for sure. How does that work? And I guess this kind of plays into the versatility of the pitcher. How do your coaches decide who gets the start, especially in a 3-game series? When you have, y'all have a game on Tuesday or Wednesday against Liberty. Like, how do you decide who's getting the start, who's going in, who's relieving? Like, how do you guys kind of figure that out, or how does your coaching staff figure that out?
I think they kind of look at matchups. So, they'll look at the lineup that we're facing and see, like, which of our pitchers have the best, spin or who will have the best success against their lineup and what they hit best. So, it's kind of just hitter dependent on the team that we're playing.
Right.
Interesting. Because, as a surface level, you think, okay, you're playing a really good team. You want your best pitcher, but also all your pitchers are great because they're all good at different throws. So that would make sense. Yeah. What hitter is going to get the least amount of work? Mm-hmm. It's so complex. And this is why I have this podcast, because I cannot be the only one wondering these questions. Right? A couple weeks ago, I got a phone call from the softball coach at Brookville, I think. And he told me that a Big had walked off with a home run and another Big had pitched the no-hitter.
Yep. Those are Eden's sisters. Yeah.
I called Eric and I'm like, you won't believe this. There's 2 more of them.
Yeah. Layla, I think she struck out 21 hitters and there's 21 outs in the game.
Yep.
So that's pretty remarkable. That's unheard of.
Hit the walk-off run.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Nala
does that.
So what's up with that? Can you guys, is your coach already like priming these girls and is like, we have 2 scholarships whenever you guys are ready to come join the UVA softball team?
Well, Nala's actually committed to Liberty. So she's point there, yeah.
Yep. She's a senior this year.
And then Layla's what, 9th grade, 10th grade?
I think Layla's a 10th grader.
Yeah, so she'll be getting into the recruitment process this fall, fall of her junior year, so.
Oh my gosh. Well, Liberty is also really good at softball, so this makes sense.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, it looks like I'm making a trip down to Rustburg here soon because I got to see what's going on. Just the softball legacy that family and their mom, not to mention the head coach.
Katie
does her family make it out to any games ever? And
just about every one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured because it's not too far. Is Katie, is she a sit behind the home plate kind of mom and is watching every pitch?
Usually on her feet. She doesn't really sit much, Honestly, her whole family is always standing. I think her aunt's out there always
watching from the top. Yeah.
Not many parents really sit down much. Unless it's like the moms maybe, but like I know my dad is pacing the whole time, so
it's so real. At the high school state championship for Christiansburg, Hayden, the pitcher, Camper, her dad was just behind me, just pacing, just constantly. I'm like, you have to sit down because I'm getting stressed watching you do this. I mean, it's a stressful game. I can't even imagine. That's part of the reason why I love softball. It's so patient. You just really have to chill and relax. But I can't imagine being a parent. Are y'all? Yeah. Well, you said they're standing and they're stressed out.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Well, I'm going to let you guys go enjoy your DoorDash. But first, we're going to play a quick game. It's called Fact or Foul. So true or false.
Okay.
And I'm going to test your softball knowledge. All right.
Okay.
No pressure.
Sounds good. Okay.
And you guys can compete against each other if you want, or you guys can put.
I feel like we should work together.
We'll work together. Yeah.
I'm more of a team.
All right. Yes, that's one of the core pillars. Okay. Fact or foul, UVA softball won the ACC tournament title in 1994.
Oh, we have a trophy in our room.
In a room.
But I don't know what year it was exactly.
I don't know what year. I feel like it was 94 because wasn't that the year that what's her face was on it? Yeah.
Fact.
Good job. Yeah. Nice job. Okay. Fact or foul? UVA softball has qualified for the NCAA tournament only once.
Foul. That's foul. We were last year in 2010.
Just one in 2010.
But
wouldn't it be twice?
Wait. What was the question again? Only once, right?
Yes.
That's foul.
So that's foul. Yeah, foul.
Good job. Yes. Qualified twice.
I was like, hold on.
Twice. And then three.
I need to hear the question.
Here in a couple weeks. So it's coming.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Final one. Fact or foul? Head coach Joanna Hardin started her career coaching at Jefferson Forest High School.
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, girls.
Let's go.
How about that? That was a crazy statistic. I was looking up her bio and I'm like, let me see if there's something crazy. And then I was like, started at Jefferson. Is she from this area or is her husband from here?
Yeah, her family's from the Lynchburg, Jefferson Forest area.
Which is crazy to me because I think she grew up in Southern California.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they ended up here.
I have no idea.
Oh, there, yeah.
That's where she played softball. And I was like, Jefferson Forest. And then I know she was an assistant at Liberty, but I was like, that's actually cool. Starting at high school and then moving all the way up. And now you're the freaking head coach at a ranked Division I college. Like, come on, coach. All right, 3 for 3. It's been a while since we've had a 3 for 3, but you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your time, considering this long day. What time is your flight in the morning? Hopefully like noon?
Oh, no. We have to leave
at
5:50.
Or 5:50.
We pack the vans at 5:30 and then we leave at 5:50. So,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I am never going to ask for media from you guys. Literally.
No. Oh, you're good. No, our flight here left at what, 6:30?
Yeah.
We had to get up I personally woke up at 4 a.m. Yeah.
Right, but your body, it's going to be like 2. You know what? Don't even think about it because you take 2 Dramamine, you fall asleep on the plane.
We'll be napping on the plane.
We'll be taking our naps.
Right. I'm assuming you're off tomorrow and we'll be good to go for Tuesday.
Yep. Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Well, safe travels, ladies. Thank you guys so much. Good luck in the coming weeks and at the ACC tournament. And I'm excited to see where you guys land in the NCAA tournament. It's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. And I love watching you guys. And it's such a full circle moment. Yeah. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Another absolutely great conversation with some young ladies that are doing special things on the diamond. And as you mentioned, it's become quite the trend from our area to UVA in particular to get things done.
Well, and lucky for UVA, there's 2 more Bigums. coming down the pipe.
Yeah, can't forget that, right? So, yeah, they're still doing their thing.
No, UVA's done great, and obviously Tech as well, and Liberty have some local girls. It's great to see. I mean, it makes our job way more fun, and it's finding that little nugget of like, why should people care about this game on a random Sunday? Well, kind of like last week. Why should people care about this midweek game? Oh, how about because this girl from our area just broke a school record? Like, that's what makes it interesting and people care. So it's great. I love it. I love it.
And we're excited. I can't imagine the parents and the folks from those communities like Bassett and everywhere else.
I'm up here crying. I'm like, this is so amazing. I remember when Appomattox won that second state title and I'm tearing up while I'm interviewing the players. I'm like, but Brooke, you've been to Appomattox like 5 times. Why are you crying at the state title game?
I feel like you said that to me on the phone last year when you were there to capture Christiansburg's first state title.
Yes, I did cry. Yes.
Yeah, you definitely did. You were like, Eric, I think I teared up a little bit. I'm like, okay.
Right, let me be clear.
Done? Just go ahead and send your package.
Yeah, I'm not like exclusively tears. What does Appy always say? Tears running down the face, I cry, or whatever he says. What's the quote?
Tears in my eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, tears in my eyes. I have my sunglasses on, so like nobody's actively seeing the tears fall. But this was something actually. Let's go back in time, and our news director Scott is still in the room, and he might have an opinion on this. In Montana, excuse me. This was my first TV, like real salaried TV job. And it's kind of like here in that you cover a lot of like really small schools that really, really care. And there was a school called Three Forks, Montana. It was about 2, maybe 3 towns over from Bozeman. Bozeman was like Las Vegas. And there was this like point guard there who was just so nice. She was like a star student. And she was, you know how there's players at certain schools that are just like your go-to. When you go to do the story, the coach gives you this player. They're always well-spoken. They're real nice. Well, she had gone through some kind of adversity, and considering what I'm about to tell you, I'm shocked I forget, but they won the district title, like against all odds. And I remember I cried at the district title game. And after the game, I went back and told Nick what had happened. Nick was my sports director. You guys, the stories you could tell. And Nick was like, you literally can't cry at games. That's the most unprofessional thing you can do. It shows bias. You have to keep your emotions in check. If you're going to do this job, you can't be showing emotion. And so guess what I did? I cried again right there in the middle of the newsroom. I'm like, are you kidding me? Golly. I love it. It's just when the stories, and I'm an emotional person, and I'm an August birthday Leo, and it's just so sweet.
My daughter, she's a Leo too.
Well, there you go. Get ready, Scott. You got so many tears in your future.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
I get it.
We're just so sensitive, and we're empaths, and like I just put myself in the shoes of and I'm just so happy. And it's never I'm crying because I cry when I'm sad, when I'm lonely, but I never cry really at those games when I'm sad.
No, but I get it. Like, I get emotional too, and like, it definitely comes across my mind. I'm like, oh man, this is pretty cool moment. Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, this is good stuff. And then I'm like, okay, just don't try not.
I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but Nick made me feel like I shouldn't have been crying.
Nick needs to get over it.
Period.
Okay.
Period, Scott. That's right.
Because I look at it like this, right? Okay, so you're covering a local team, right? Who's going to argue with you for celebrating and tearing up for a local team that has no political agenda? They just want to win.
It's just
sport. And we're rallying around this team, and I'm excited and tearing up because they've just won the big dance or whatever you call it. So, man, keep crying.
Thank you, Scott.
Keep crying. Now, we just got to get some local teams for you to cry here, right? So that they can win some championships.
Yeah,
when they get to the championship, I'm obviously like, I'll let it out if it comes. Like, Win Fleming High School, the girls basketball team, they ever win the state title and I'm there, oh, you best believe I'm bawling my eyes out because I've seen everything they've gone through. And too, at that point, the opposing team, they don't know us. They're not from here.
Yeah, Well, that's how I felt when Botetourt won. I was like,
what you gonna do? Google me? Look me up. Yeah.
I was just when Coach G was my English teacher in high school, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I remember when she took over for Coach Pound, and then they had that championship canceled for COVID when they were getting on the bus, and they just built this thing from the ground up, and I was just. Yeah, but like I said, it's never like ball. I mean, I did actually cry pretty hard. I was like, but tears were rolling down my face at the LB championship. But then I think
which championship was LB?
When they won the girls basketball state title. Yeah,
the state title. So you teared up for that one?
Yeah. Oh my God. I physically was crying for that one. Like I remember wiping my eyes.
See that?
Well, it's embarrassing because I'm like, I did not play basketball there.
Yeah, but that's your alma mater.
It is my alma mater. So I was like, hopefully people won't think I'm weird. But,
well, we want to see the authenticity of Brooke.
I should have cried on air.
You know, that's cool.
No, thank you.
You wrapped the package. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Thank you, Scott. If only you were my news director in 2018. Or my sports director.
2018.
Wherever Nick is now.
Man.
Yeah.
Goodness.
No, I really could have used some encouragement because.
It's all good, man. You're not, I mean, if it's a news story, I mean, it's different.
Yeah. But no, sports winning. And when Grayson County lost, I definitely teared up because that season put me through the ringer. Yeah, I can't even imagine how they felt out there, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was quite the season. They went through.
It was so great.
Yeah, no, the moments afterwards, like presenting trophies. For example, the unsung hero award we gave to Steve Motley.
Oh my gosh!
That right there, I will tell you, when Coach took a minute, and I thought he definitely teared up, and I'm like, oh man, don't get me going, because me and Steve, we go way back, way back, and he truly, when I said he doesn't let a week go by without calling me, I honestly probably should have said like 2 or 3 days. He doesn't. He always calls, and he does with everybody. He just checks in. Sometimes he's got the scoop, and I'm like, all right, Steve, what you hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Or other times it's just a check in, and I'm like, man, this guy, he's been through so much. So many people know him. So many people love him, and I'm like, man. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this together through this whole thing, but we're gonna do it.
I'm mad you guys did it the day I went to Billy Strings.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm also happy I wasn't there because I definitely would have for sure cried. You need to go watch it, Scott. It is the sweetest, nicest trophy presentation for our unsung hero.
Where do I go see it? Is it on the YouTube page?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube and of course WSLS.com/sports.
Okay.
If you go to First and 10, it should be probably the first one that pops up.
It was so good.
Most recent one we did, but he did like just totally deserves everything.
Yeah.
And I remember just the idea of presenting him something at the beginning of the year, and every coach and player was like, "Oh my gosh, finally!" Like, yeah, you know.
Cool.
And he goes through his challenges and things, but I mean, everybody just pitches in, loves him, take him to his games, take him to games that he's even coaching at, and then they go to his games, because he's involved with Special Olympics basketball. He calls me, he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be at the game. I'm gonna score 20 points. I'm telling you right now." And I'm like, "All right, Steve, we're gonna see." And lo and behold, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I scored some points. I got some blocks and I got rebounds." And I'm like, "Steve, you did it. You said you're gonna do it." So I don't doubt him. But this is a great guy.
Sounds like he's got a great personality with a lot of energy and positivity.
Life of the party.
He is the best.
I think we got video of him years ago at a basketball tournament at the Civic Center. He was like doing cartwheels. I think when Alyssa was filming him. Yeah, he was. I mean, he was really showing off.
Steve!
Yeah, Steve was getting down. He loves dancing too. So you see some of the dance videos.
The skates.
Yeah, you seen him on the skates dancing. Yeah, he's
awesome.
Great.
I know that would be a great guest in the summertime.
Yeah,
maybe he can come on to do our pickle lemonade challenge.
Pickle lemonade. So you're talking about the Popeyes?
Yeah. That would be.
Have you tried it yet?
No, we talked about it, but I'm going to tap into it eventually.
We're going to definitely do it on a taste test on the podcast. Yeah, it was supposed to be this episode.
He would be the person that would keep it honest with us. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
he wouldn't sugarcoat it.
I can already hear him be like,
Steve.
"No."
Sounds like a regular appearance on the foul check.
I know. We should bring him on.
Yeah. Steve, what you doing? What you doing?
What you doing, Big Steve?
Steve.
You don't have a nickname for him, though, right?
Oh man,
No.
he goes by I don't know if I should say it because it may be trademarked, but Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, he's like Prime in our area. I'll give him
Prime
that.
Steve.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You have to put something with that. Make it personalized.
Coach Prime.
Don't want Dion coming out this.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
Dion. We don't. We literally cannot be sued.
No, he's already
Talk
going
about
out
doesn't sponsor us yet.
Yeah, he's already going out to UVA. So just like,
Steve,
yeah,
can't
we'll
wait
do
to
that.
meet you.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
we'll bring
that's
him
a
in
good
here.
dude. He's a good dude. But yeah, speaking of crime,
Is there
that was
anything else
my
going
moment.
on?
Anything and everything, right? First off, I want to say great season to our beloved hockey team. No, don't do this. Don't do this. No, they had a great season. I was not expecting them to bail out when they did, but Gallagher,
I'm
Rookie of the
only
Year.
reacting like this because I cannot believe that they lost in the first round.
Yeah, I was stunned too. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All season. And
All season, literally all season.
it's different. It's 0-0
It
in the
is.
playoffs.
Yeah, win and go home.
Yeah.
Or
It is.
lose it. Whatever. They
Lose
lost.
and stay home.
Lose and stay home. Oh yeah, you said that in the
'Cause it was-
intro. Yeah.
they did it here. So,
But I did enjoy it. Plot twist. I didn't go to a single Royal Dogs game all year.
No,
Somehow managed to not because stairs. And the
True.
one game I went to where I didn't have to walk up all the stairs, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
no, it's not bad.
It's just crazy to me. There's a lot of people my age there. I'm like, this is where y'all at.
Yeah. Did you see the attendance numbers? Come on now.
Some hot young singles over at the Berglund Center.
Are you going after the hockey players?
No, God, no. Scott, no, God, no. No. The fans. We got the fans. No.
We always
I
got
think
the
the
fans.
hockey players
Always got
aren't
the
even
fans.
my age anymore. I think they're like
It's kind
21.
of like
They are super young.
they're
Yeah.
young and they're temporaries, right? They get transferred to wherever they need to go play.
Typically, yeah. Some of them are on the move.
And hockey players are
no,
a different breed.
No,
They are.
They're athletes.
They're athletes.
They're athletes.
The fact that you can skate backwards and don't have teeth.
Well, it's kind of like, hockey's kind of like WWE and rollerblading on ice.
That's actually the perfect way to put it. We've had this discussion many times about what do we think is the most physical sport and the hardest sport. Hockey, combining physicality, skill, finesse, it's everything.
I can't track that pucky for the life of me.
No, I can't either. Scott,
Where'd it go?
It's tough.
I can't either. And honestly, I had to do so much of that game I shot by my other senses, by sound. If I heard the boom up against the wall, that's how I knew that the puck was where they were booming at the wall. I can't see that puck either.
Good luck shooting that for you guys. That would be a difficult
And why
sport
is the
to
puck
shoot.
black? That's what we need to ask Brenner next time he comes on. Why isn't it red? Why isn't it neon?
Well, neon.
Why
so we
is it
see
black?
better.
True.
That doesn't make
But
sense.
if you think about what contrast on the white ice the best,
Neon.
it probably would be black.
But they have the lines, like the lines on the ice are black. Their skates are black. Their sticks have the fins are
True.
black.
True. Yeah, but I will say when they first came back, someone told me, "Hey, what if you just take your camera out of color mode, put it in black and white, because that's how they used to have to shoot it, before we had these color viewfinders."
Who told you that?
A very experienced photographer that still works with.
Greg?
Really?
No,
Brooke hasn't been
Thanks,
instructed
Jeff.
by the experienced
Right.
photographer.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Per Zan?
Okay.
Oh my God.
No, again, my whole point of bringing them up, great season, great effort. I wish they could have gotten to at least the semifinals.
Yeah.
So,
And you said Knoxville,
Knoxville is
who
in
beat them,
in the
is in the final. Yeah.
I
Who are
can't
they
believe
playing? Is
it.
it Knoxville?
Yeah,
and-
the Ice Bears. Yeah, so
the Ice Bears?
I forget who made it on the other side. I think it may have been Evansville or whoever the Thunderbolts are.
Yeah.
I forget, but I
Wait,
couldn't believe it. I could
when you're
not.
hot, you're hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it just takes one goal.
It really does. I know. And honestly,
That's tough.
that game I went to was rough. That was the one they won because I went to the first period and that was the game the Dogs lost and you went to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had so many operators. They had like 44 shots in the first period and like couldn't get 25 or something. Couldn't get anything to land.
We'll be back next year.
Just a tough weekend. Yeah, they'll be back, and Bremer get them straight. So again, shout out to them. But yeah, other thing coming up, of course, is the ACC softball tournament, kind of like we talked about with Jade and Eden there. So we'll see how things unfold.
And Tech baseball.
Tech baseball, keep an eye on
Trying
them.
to turn a corner a little bit. UVA is also kind of
trying. Are they going to make it to the World Series and kind of regional play?
We'll see.
I think they could make it into the tournament.
I think they could. It's just a matter of what they look like finishing out the regular season and then, of course, into the ACC baseball tournament, which we realized or found out the other day is no longer pool play like it used to be.
Right.
That weird.
Yes.
Really?
Oh man, it's finally just
elimination.
A regular bracket.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that'll be fun to see. I think they're down in Durham again this year.
Yeah.
So that, and of course Carolina League still going. Salem, as we touched on a bit, Lynchburg, and before you know it, Happy League will be back around before we know it. We're talking, River Turtles and the Otterbots, and they'll be playing the sock puppets.
I love that stadium, by the way, the River Turtles.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's great.
So nice.
Yeah, great down there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and even better is the concession prices. So.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say the prices. That's what I'm saying. They have great chicken tenders.
Yeah, so like $3 for corn dog nuggets. Yes,
that's what we need to do. We need to take the podcast to. Maybe
take it to Calfee?
Take it to Calfee, take it to the Red Sox, and just feed.
Bring it. I love it. Can I be y'all's field producer?
Come on, Scott.
I love that stuff.
Why not? Yeah. This has been so fun to have a surprise guest. Scott was just over at our desk, and I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Talking sports.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know. We try to keep it PG. We have a lot of listeners in the building now.
Can we at least go PG-13?
I mean, yeah.
I worked hard to keep it.
You should have heard me on Valentine's Day.
I worked hard to get it to PG. You go, a little earlier this season.
We'll do after hours. We'll do the
it won't be on the Graham Media Podcast Network.
Exclusively for midnight listeners and watchers. Listeners. What are we watching? Listening? Both?
You maybe
10 News After Dark. We are watching. Well, no one's watching you. They're watching us. Are they watching? We don't know. We do. We have dedicated listeners, though. I will say all.
You gotta get 30. Where's your phone? They need to call in.
I know.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Look at you now.
Call and leave us
that would be so fun. Almost like
Would it be fun, Scott? The last email we got.
And you can do it hell. You can.
You can curse on here.
You can even. I just put them on your cell phone speaker and let them talk. I mean, you can go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Leave us voicemails on our droid.
Oh my goodness. No.
Except I don't know my droid's number.
Do the Google phones we got?
You should know your number. You didn't save it in your phone?
I don't know by heart.
Oh. 243-5777 if you need Eric Johnson.
243-5777. That's what you can call in if you want to leave us questions.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
540-243-5777.
Oh, man.
Was that right?
It was.
Who are they calling?
They're calling Eric's droid.
Oh,
my droid.
They're going to be blowing up now.
Oh, no.
They will be. Oh, wait. I didn't even think about all the moms and the grandmas who are going to have their hands on that. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this up. Scott, thank you so much for coming on.
You guys, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, shout out Eden and Jade.
I'm the voice, the voice without a face.
Hey, and that's okay.
It's no pressure.
You would rather see me behind the scenes anyway.
Oh, well, no, don't say that.
Yeah, I've got a face for listening.
I say if the camera still works with me in front of it, we're in pretty good. We're in pretty good shape.
So yeah, two handsome and attractive.
I don't know about that.
Thank you. We try. We try to hold it down.
We
may be second place in the state for sports operation, but we're number one when it comes to styling and profiling.
Bring it.
Am I right?
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Nolan.
I do what I can.
Shout out Nolan. All right. We'll see you guys next time.